Hey creative problem solving, this video is a look back at some memorable do something different projects you came up with over the course of this class, so we can give some recognition to some, not all, we can't fit everything in this video, but some, projects you've upvoted or discussed frequently in the forums. We've been wholly impressed by the diverse perspectives you each bring to this course being a global phenomenon, so in this video we'd like to present some of the projects that are a great example of the cultural connotations of creativity. We also think that a lot of the projects really do appeal to every community as a whole, whether it's solving materials use problem, or designing for extreme budget constraints, or designing to cultivate empathy with someone you know or the world around you, as these are all things to which everyone can relate. Our first example of this is Alex, the homeless gentleman, and his dog Sophie, who are a pair a student Vinny spoke to in DSD 3 for Talk to Someone Different. She notes that a lot of his responses were very unexpected, and she found herself thinking about him and his life quite often after. She asked him what he thought people who walked past him thought of him. She writes, his response, "I have met many kind and nice people. Some buy me food, blankets, but some look down at me and judge me. They think I am invisible." This statement is eye-opening to think how we treat others in our own community quite differently, depending on the situation, based on our own judgments. Addressing this helps focus more on how to work on the root of the problem, some of our most challenging problems that really do need to be solved. Vinny went back to visit Alex and Sophie for the final Give Different DSD to share with him, among other things, the feedback and responses to his story that a lot of you have given. You can follow up to this in the forums and in the DSD Give review as well. We've been looking for more stories of your continued involvement in the DSDs over time. Here we have another student who maintained a friendship of sorts with a boy he met for DSD 3, Talk to Someone Different. He gave him a gift for DSD 6. The impromptu friendship is inspiring as the context of the boy's story, who was away from home working to raise money for school, which alone is something that is oftentimes and unfortunately a foreign concept to many, which is why the context being in this global community is a bit inspiring here. We get to see all different types of lifestyles and a lot of different problems that oftentimes need to be addressed and can't be addressed until we get out there and really meet new people. Our next project is another wonderful example of using creativity to cultivate empathy with your community. This is one of the top commented projects in the forums, titled Secret Exchange. If you remember, this was this student's Talk to Someone Different project, in which she created a space for strangers to write down a secret and place in a bowl in exchange for another. What's really amazing about this is the number of comments from you guys asking to integrate this into a project of your own or use this in your own community. The idea that results from doing this experiment is that confessing secrets can really help people feel like they are part of a community, make this clear to them, or make it clear that no one is alone in feeling alone. She later said in comments in the forums she ended up burning most of the secrets after the project was done as a vow to maintain the integrity of her idea. We've had several projects that were highly regarded for the visual presentation. Some of the creative ideas you might have may not be able to be executed practically all the time or in a short time like this, but displaying your idea in a creative way can really help communicate what it is you were trying to solve more clearly. First is Food Mandala. Not only is this a beautiful and detailed display of eating differently, but also it can be played as a game. When turned into a game, this becomes an engaging way to eat, but also, along with the concept of the mandala, provokes people to really consider what it is that we are eating and how that shapes an essential part of our life. This is really interesting, and we missed this one the first round of live reviews, so please check it out. Another great example of visual presentation is titled Eat Your Makeup. Creativity does not always have to be about doing something completely new and novel right from the start, but can be considered as a process to change the way we look at our own habits in order to make the changes we wish to make or to solve a problem in a progressive way. Again, the execution being clearly communicated with the visual presentation. Check this one out in the forums for comments as well. We also have Eat Your Soup and Spoon again, which is not only a beautifully photographed project, but also a fantastically resourceful use of materials. We have Ice Scarf as an excellent use of materials and also fits well within the visual presentation category, as this is a beautifully crafted piece and clearly documented as well. This one generated a lot of ideas for alternative uses from you guys in the forums and social media, which is fantastic. Pocket fruit. Not only a great way to eat healthy foods differently, but also quite a thoughtful reuse of old materials, in this case a toothpaste container. This one works well as a prototyping for what could be a practical, low-cost item and a way to even preserve food longer. Umbrella skirt. Also a creative visual presentation in its level of craft and detail. Many of you upvoted this one for DSD to wear something different, so here it is again. A wonderful way of repurposing materials into something that it also has aesthetic appeal and practicality. You don't often see all those three traits achieved successfully, but this student managed to do so here. Spaghetti tube. One more for innovative use of materials because of the time it probably took to wrap all that spaghetti on the tube. If you remember, this student ate spaghetti in a new way by finding a stranger to hold the tube covered in pasta while he ate it off the spool. This is an interesting use of materials because ultimately he's found a new potential use of the pasta packaging if it came in a tube, and it doubles as the serving device, potentially saving packaging and serving space. So another potential prototype here. Another look back to your first DSD assignment. This one definitely gets top votes for being one of the most, shall we say, bold or heavily trusting with the public. This is stranger food. Remember, this student went up to strangers in the food court and asked to try their food, and impressively, a lot said sure. As a first project, this is a great exercise in getting over the hurdle of getting out in public, stepping out of your comfort zone, and trying something new in the public sphere, because a big component of creativity is really getting out of what's comfortable and familiarizing yourself with something new and different. Even if it may be a really uncomfortable experience at first, a lot of times it's sometimes helpful to see the positive reactions people have just based on the sheer fact that you're doing something so out there and so novel, people just can't help but want to be a part of it. Along those lines, we need to remember that what is different for some is normal for others. This student noted that eating tarantulas is not way out of the norm for her culture in Cambodia, but putting them on a sandwich is far more abnormal. We might think of this as an extreme food fusion of something fairly westernized and something more specific, but simply sharing this concept as to expose others is helpful to provoke many in the global community here to think about different norms when it comes to eating. A lot of your As a Child DSDs displayed a thoughtful look at what it means to be a child and what we leave behind when we grow up. Among those things, natural creative ability. A few inspiring examples are street poetry, poems this student wrote as a child, written on sidewalks to inspire others to reflect on their own inner children. Another one that is really touching is 94 Years of Love, where this student looked back on the everyday things her mom used to do for her, and it brought up a lot of memories on how she used to see the world as a child. We've provided a list with links to where these projects are posted on the forums, so you may want to check them out and discuss a little bit further, especially if you haven't seen them or read the comments yet. We've got one more video coming this week as a look back over the course as a whole, so we'll leave you for now with an ode to the pets of the Do Something Difference.
Dog goes woof, cat goes meow, bird goes tweet, and mouse goes squeak. Cow goes moo, frog goes croak, and the elephant goes toot. Ducks say quack, and fish go blub, and the seal goes ow, ow.